girls then get pushed, if you can see what I'm saying, get pushed to become very masculine because they feel like, and actually it's from personal experience. My own mother tells me to, they're pushing us to go to college. They're pushing us to go into very masculine, type of trades. And in order to be, I'm in the medical field. So in order to be, look, if you're coming to see me, do you want me to be a woman who doesn't know how to make decisions?
Yeah.
No, you don't want that, right?
Real quick, because it's a very important distinction you just made there, and I don't hear much women say it. It's like you just said that your mother encourages you to be more masculine. What I hear nowadays is, as we know on the internet, it's men versus women. Like, we don't hear much of examples of your mother encouraging you. We hear men make us like this, men make us like, you've just been honest there and said that my mother made me more masculine. And do you think that, I'm going to say it straight, I think that's a problem, that women are making women become more masculine.
Yeah,
that's an issue. But it's just before I just cut you off. That's an important distinction. It's not the men that's doing that, because we want you to be feminine. Like, men want women to be feminine. We don't want you to be masculine. We already got to deal with the dudes that are masculine. We don't want to deal with a masculine female. So it's an issue, I think.
I'm definitely going to agree with you with that, and I'm going to get to the point you made as well. Yeah. So what happens is that then the girls are encouraged to stand up for themselves. Don't wait around and rely on the guy. You've got to be self-sufficient. By the way, that's a good thing, because you actually, if you're going into a relationship, you want a partnership. You would want, so this is how it works. If you ever seen 300, have you?
Why would you? Why would you want a partnership when that's not how it's worked for all of history?
What I meant by partnership, I'll explain a little bit.
Okay.
In 300, Leonidas is the king, and he has his queen. When someone comes to his doorstep and threatens him, literally threatens his whole livelihood, his people, with literally cutting people's heads off, walking up to him and showing violence, his queen stepped up and said, "This is not okay." And the messenger was turning around and saying, "How dare you as a woman speak?" And in the end, when Leonidas then, before he kicked them down the well, he actually said, "You disrespected my queen." And actually what she said as well is, she said, like, only Spartan women can give birth to Spartan men, which is strong men. So what is beautiful about that relationship is that they are not equal in the sense that they don't have the same energy, but we can agree that they're both strong in different ways.
Yeah, but that's not a partnership, because he needs...
what I meant is, I'm not saying they're equal.
She needs him more than he needs her.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that they're equal in that they give the same thing in, but what they do is that they complement each other and support each other. And the beautiful thing about that relationship is that she's actually very accomplished. So he feels safe walking away and going into war, potentially never coming back. But he knows that his wife is strong. So she can go and she will use her way of doing things to try and help the country.
Can I just say something quick? Is a definition of a partnership 50-50, right? Right. So I think that's the biggest problem for men when we hear partnership, because we think, when we hear 50-50, we think, hold on, so if we got to get into a fight now, it's not 50-50. Because if someone comes to rob us down the street right now, it's not 50-50. I got to deal with 100% of the... I got to deal with him. So when we hear partnership, we think that's cool, because there's certain places where we want women to be feminine. So if we're at a family gathering, you might be more vocal than us. That's fine, because we don't want to talk. So it's like, a partnership doesn't have to be 50-50, in my opinion. You can have a solid relationship without having to be 50-50 all the way. You can be better. Women can be better at some things than men. As you're more maternal than us. You can deal with children better than us. We're fine with that. The problem with women nowadays, in my opinion, is trying to make everything so equal, and it's like, it's just not like that. It's not in us. It's not in our biological. It's not innate at all.
Yeah, and I agree with you with that as well, because I guess I have my definition of partnership's a bit different from you. So when I'm saying a partnership, I didn't mean it has to be 100% 50-50 in every single aspect.
Right, but you're changing the definition of a word.
Okay,
so it's like, that's
sorry.
Why, like, our
I do apologize. I'm not trying to.
I'm not offended. I'm just saying, like, that's not what it means. Question for you: what have you seen in divorce court? Do you feel like men and women demonize each other the same? What's your experience with that?
No, I think women are more ready to just demonize the husband. Like, if they're going in the arena of divorce, like, okay, this is happening, they're ready to just cut him out as much, whatever way possible. And I've seen very commonly the man's like, okay, what's going on? Who is this? You know, where does this come from? And then he just has to. It's sad. So first initial reaction is he's sad. He's like, okay, this is where it's going. And then he has to just now defend himself, all these accusations. So yeah, and then he might be disgusted, and then he's just retaliating. But she's the one that always starts it.
I'm glad you said that.
I've seen. Just saying how it is.
So I'm curious. Have you had? I know the majority of divorces are initiated by women. Have you had men initiate divorce?
Yeah, sometimes.
What are the typical reasons that men initiate, from what you've seen?
So what I've seen, so sometimes it's adultery, cheating, or she gets to, like, she's trying to take charge in the house and started demanding things. So she doesn't have to, like, especially if she's educated. So she's got a job and she's coming home late, and then she's too tired to.
What's the percentages, just roughly, of your experience of men initiating divorce and women initiating divorce?
The percentage, well, I don't know the
just
exact.
Because I know what I know the percentage that Pearl's got statistics, but what have you seen in your own experience?
That men initiate divorce?
Yeah.
Like roughly.
The last time we saw is around like 15%.
Really?
And
that means the statistics spot on there.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
But again, the English courts, I have to say, it's not like straight away. It's not as bad as California, I'm going to say, for example.
How long do you think women want to leave marriages before they do?
How long?
Yeah, typically.
So from as soon as they get married, and
yeah, like they just always say, like, if a girl starts working out and going to the gym, she's leaving your ass. Like,
I don't know. I mean, that's really relative. I don't know. Maybe I would say it's like 6 months.
6 months.
To a few years.
To a few years.
I have to. It sounds really extreme, but if it keeps happening, there's all these patterns. It's
Okay. So what about you guys'